Good afternoon, Robert. How are you?
Oh man, it's good to see you. I guess it's just like one of those days, you know.
Hmm.
I can't. It's like every time I see you at school, and then I have to go back and I go through the same stuff over and over again. But I guess I'm alright. I'm tired. I had to get up and take my brothers, get them ready for school. That just wears me out. But you already know that, so.
I mean, I can only imagine each and every day going to take them to and from school. But how does that make you feel when you get
I
put
get
out?
mad, man. It's like, why is it my fault or responsibility to do that? I'm still in school too. Nobody seems to care, and it just wears me out, man. By the time I get to school, it's like I'm sort of tired, and then the teachers they be jumping on me and stuff like I'm not paying attention, and see that's what gets me all upset with them, because they don't care about what's going on with me, you know.
And so, what may make you feel like they don't care about you?
Man, don't get me started. We keep talking about this over and over and over again. They just don't see me, you know. They don't, they don't care.
Mhm. They so have you tried talking to them, or I
Talking,
mean,
talking
just
to
like
them.
trying
Oh
to.
man. Um, when they told me I had to come and see you or I was gonna get kicked out,
Mhm.
I said, okay, let me try and you know, to just sort of be me and to not get wound up with them. And it's the same stuff I get from them. It's like I said, they always targeting me. So it's like damn if you do, damned if you don't.
Right. But okay, so today I would like to try to do a semi-clinical interview with you. Are you familiar with what that is?
No, not really.
Oh, so semi-clinical interview is basically, I'm going to ask you a certain amount of questions such as, your age and, different identifying factors about you.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yes.
So,
I mean, you cool with me. I don't have no
oh,
problems
okay.
with you.
And I also had one more quick question. So, how do you feel about coming to therapy since we've been meeting these past couple of weeks?
Well, they told me I had to come or I was gonna be kicked out. So I mean, what am I supposed to do? But you cool. After a couple sessions, meeting with you, it's like you hear what I'm saying, you listen to what I'm saying, and that's my problem with everybody else. That's like nobody's hearing me or seeing me. They put me in a category and box me up, and it doesn't makes me feel like shit sometimes.
I mean, I could imagine, but so if I ask you these certain amount of questions, maybe it'll help you feel like somebody's listening to you, and that maybe you could maybe in school maybe your teachers will probably do the same for you.
Well, maybe you can talk to them, okay? Because it doesn't seem like I'm getting anywhere, and it may be more important coming from you than coming from me. So,
Okay, well, we could try that. But so the questions I have about you for the interview is so what is your age? How old are you?
I'm 16.
You're 16 years old. Okay. And so what do you identify as, or who, such as,
In what way? I'm
like
a
your
black man.
race, gender?
I'm a male. I'm straight. Um, um, religious. Shit. I'm just me.
Okay. Do you speak any different languages or?
No,
Okay. So, do you have a job while you're in school or are you working?
I can't because I gotta take care of my brothers.
Oh, you have to take care
It's
of
like in the
others.
morning. I can't really do anything after school. I gotta go home, make sure they get home,
Mhm.
make sure that they doing their thing. And if I don't do that, see, then I get a beat down from my father, and they
Mhm.
ain't trying to hear what I'm trying to say.
Mhm. When you say you get a beat down for your father, how is that like?
Oh
Or how
shit!
does that make you feel?
Have you ever had a beat down before? It just nobody likes being hit. Nobody
No,
likes
I get
being
that.
yelled at.
I get that. So tell me, is there any other understanding between you and your father that?
Man, I don't have. It's like he just he like take up air and take up space. My mom is my mother and father. He show up, come home from work, drink a couple beers. I guess he kicks in on some money, but you know, I just
So about your mother, how does she play into your life?
man, my mom she
Besides
works
being,
so hard, and that's why I help out with my brothers because of my mother, because it makes a difference to her, and that's I mean she's just the only person that I think can sort of understand me a little bit.
oh, okay, that's good. So
But see, what's going on in school though? She thinks that I should be sitting back and being quiet and listening to everybody and taking all that shit that everybody's giving me,
mhm,
and I can't. She can't relate to that. She don't see that side of me because I ain't like that at home. I ain't like that with you.
mhm,
But when I'm out there, it feels like a jungle out there, man. It's not just the
mhm.
teachers. I mean, it's like the other students too.
So what out there makes you kind of feel frustrated out there? Is is it from what I'm hearing that you have somebody willing to listen
Man,
to you?
I start the day frustrated. I'm
Mhm,
frustrated off the bat. So when I come up in here, I just, I just wish I had a normal life.
mhm,
Like any other kid. Can't go out and have friends, all that kind of stuff. I feel like I'm like locked in.
mhm.
And then on top of that, like, nobody's listening to me. So, I act out. I get pissed off,
Hmm.
you know?
When because of the pressures and the frustrations
Well,
is what I'm
yeah,
hearing.
and, teachers respect. They say something to me, I go jump back at them.
Hmm.
Just because they old and stuff, that don't mean nothing, you know?
Hmm. So when these teachers are saying something to you, how frequently do you feel upset? Is it every time that they say something to you, or?
No, not every time, man. I hold it in, and I just get to a point where something snaps. I can't control it, and then I feel depressed, uh, sad. You know, um, I smoke marijuana to sort of get my head right, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, so when you're feeling, so how often do you feel like you have to have an escape away from your life
Every day,
every day?
every day.
Okay, well, we're gonna go on to the next factor of our interview,
Okay,
and we'll come in with past medical history.
okay.
Started.
So, Robert, why do you think you're here today?
Um, well, I'm here because they told me to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I get mad sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't control it. It just
Mhm.
comes from nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I can't take
Mm-hmm.
not having any space.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of my brothers. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like I have a social life.
So, how does all of that make you feel?
I feel sad. I feel
Mhm.
depressed. I feel angry.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to control it sometimes. So then I get caught up in, written up, sent to the principal's office.
So, let me ask you a question. Has any of that ever led to any hospitalizations, or have you been in any other counseling programs prior to talking with me today?
When I was like, not hospitalizations now.
Mm-hmm.
I fell and cut my leg once, and
Mm-hmm.
it was deep, and my mom took me to the emergency room. I got some stitches.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was back in the fourth grade, I
Mhm.
guess the school counselor told my moms I need to talk to somebody. They ain't know what was going on with me.
So, when that happened when you was in the fourth grade, how were you feeling about that incident then? Like, how did you fall? How did you hurt yourself when you had to go to the hospital? How did it become so
I was
serious?
just playing. You know what I mean? That was just a
So,
hospitalization. That
what
ain't
did
had nothing to do
so
with
how did the
counseling.
teachers come to the conclusion that your mom needed to take you to see someone? Because this is what I'm.
They
That's what I'm
thought
hearing.
I had attention deficit disorder,
Mhm.
and they said I was too angry and snapped on people, and
Mhm. They put you on any medication as a result.
no, because I didn't go. I went to 2 sessions and I didn't go anymore. You know, because I mean it was this white lady and she didn't just I just couldn't relate to her.
So you didn't go to her because she was white, or you didn't go to her because you couldn't relate, or
I
you
didn't
didn't go
go
to her
too
because she was
much
a
because she
lady.
was white, and I didn't go because I didn't think I needed
Are you pregnant? But in the fourth grade, are you old enough to make that sound decision?
it. I made it. I was pretending that I was going, and my mom found out like the second session I missed. The counselor called her,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom's real busy, so they don't understand depression and stuff like that.
So when were you formally diagnosed with depression?
I wasn't diagnosed.
So how do you know you're depressed? How do you know that you suffer from depression?
Because I feel sad a lot. I feel hopeless. Like I'm trapped. Like I just.
So in what ways do you feel hopeless? How do you feel trapped?
Because I don't have no time, no space to myself. I'm just always. Like I'm on lockdown. We talk about this with my brothers.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you telling me is that you feel confined, you feel hopeless, you feel sad and depressed.
Well, it's like what scares me, and I can tell you this. I ain't telling nobody else, but I can't control myself sometimes. It's like a switch go off, and I get volatile. I feel like I could just steal somebody in the face.
You feel like you want to harm someone often.
Not necessarily that I want to, but I feel like I could harm somebody.
So what prevents you? What stops? How do you feel when you feel like you want to harm somebody? Tell me that.
Well, actually, I made a couple of moves, and that's why I'm here. I think I had some like little tussles with a couple of my classmates, but it's nothing serious. It's like I don't feel as though anybody's listening to me, and I can't sleep. I don't have enough sleep, and it's like my appetite's screwed up.
So you've never been hospitalized all of this time, with all these symptoms you discussed with me right now? How long you been feeling like this?
Well,
Because you discussed it started in the fourth grade.
it started before then. It started before then. Yeah.
Have you ever been put on any type of medication as a result for your physical ailments?
Well, it's like when I go to my doctor, my mother makes me go to the doctor once a year, and the doctor, I guess he talked to my mom and stuff, and she told me about when I was in the fourth grade, and he wanted to put me on some Ritalin because he thought I had attention deficit disorder.
So you just refuse to take the medication?
No, I took it for a while, you know, but I don't like taking medicine, you know. It made me feel spaced out, you know. I don't think it helped me.
So do you have a history? Anybody in your family have a history?
You know, I think my mom is depressed, right? And it's like people say you're moody, snap out of it, pray about it.
I've heard that.
That's what I hear. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know anything about depression. I just know I'm sad. I know that my father's angry and drinks too much.
So what kind of things make you sad? You discuss several things about you feeling burdened with to take care of your brothers.
Man, it's like we don't have a lot of money. I can't do what I want to do. I can't get the new Jordans. I can't go out to.
My kids can't get the new Jordans either, Robert. And I work every day. What's your point?
Well, I don't want to stand out looking like I'm poor.
You look very well today. You have grown very well. Tell your parents did a good job.
No, they didn't do it. I did it. I get up every morning.
Where you work at, Robert? Who provides your lights? Who provides your heat at home? Who provides your food?
My parents do, but
Exactly.
I provide 24/7 babysitting services. You know.
You help them out. I'm sure they appreciate it.
Well, you know, that deserves something, I think.
So let's go back to, we're talking about any prior, you never been to a therapist. You did go to a therapist one time in the fourth grade, but what happened since then? You didn't go back to the white woman.
Well, before they forced me to start seeing you, right?
I appreciate you being forced to come see me because I'm enjoying our conversations.
It's like I was suspended for 3 days. And this was like a year and a half ago. And, after the suspension, the school counselor suggested to my mom that I go see a counselor. I didn't go.
So you just non-compliant with all the therapy?
Well,
you don't think you need anybody to talk to? You've been coming to me for about 5 weeks now, and I'm trying to get through an assessment.
You're the only person I can talk to.
Yeah, but that's not good enough because I can't be the only person you can talk to because what happens? Something happens to me.
I feel depressed. Okay. I feel angry. I feel anxious. You know.
So you're feeling depressed. You're feeling anxious. You're feeling angry. Well, how does that make you feel inside of you? How do you feel here? Like you're telling me the symptoms of how you feel, but how does it make you feel internally?
I can't be I can't be me.
What's being Robert?
If I had some time, I could figure that out. You know, I don't know. I just can't. I can't move beyond my little block. You know. You read stuff in books and see stuff on TV and look at videos and you see how people live and what they got and you know I don't know how I'm gonna get there. You know, I ain't.
But you're only 16. It's not supposed to get there yet.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. I'm only 16. That's what, you know. It's like y'all always think that just because I'm 16 now, I ain't nothing. And I ain't only look at it like that.
You're always gonna be something. You can be something to me, and you're something to your parents, and especially your little brother. Because I'm sure they look up to you.
You know, it's like sometimes it's all good. And sometimes it's all good, you know, because I feel like I get the love, I got the connection.
So you do have a lot of positive things going on right now.
Not a lot, but I got a few. And it's not all bad, but it seems like it's only the bad stuff that's recognized.
So how long did they refer you to go to a doctor before your suspension last time?
Well, they only met with my mother once. And
So
I don't even know
why
if
did
she,
they
I
never
don't
met
know if she was
with you?
down with it.
So you've only been on Ritalin when you was in what? How long were you on Ritalin for?
For about 3 months.
So you just non-compliant with medicine? You're non-compliant with therapy?
What you mean by not compliant?
You just do what you want to do. You've been like a little rebel. How's that little rebel attitude getting you?
A little rebel.
Yes, you've been a little rebel all your life. You get to tell everybody what you're going to do. You know what I mean? So now we're going to get to the point where we're going to talk more and go into detail about your education. You know, what's going on with your education and why, okay? Thank you for letting me talk to you today.
Okay.
So you've been talking about how, school, our school has led you here. You've been talking about your family, your dad, your relationship with him, your relationship with people in the school and everything. And right now I just want to have more, this is a clinical structured interview, and I just want to have more idea and understand more about your education and employment history. Can you tell me more? I know you're in the 5th grade, right?
Oh no, I'm in the 10th grade.
10th grade, okay, that's amazing.
No, I was like in the 4th and 5th grade when I was talking about the Ritalin and stuff and the counseling.
Yes, that was when you started counseling and you were diagnosed with ADHD.
No, they didn't diagnose me. They thought I had it. So I started taking medicine, and like I said,
why would they give you medicine if you weren't diagnosed?
They just like to give people the medicine, man. It wasn't a psychologist that gave me medicine.
So
it was my
medicine?
doctor, my medical doctor.
Just gave you the medicine for ADHD without even having to diagnose you, without
they talked to my mom.
And your mom allowed them to give you the medicine?
She thought it was going to help.
Oh, and did it help?
It just made me feel weird.
And then you just stopped afterwards. I understand.
And it's like the prescriptions cost money, and I know my mom had insurance and stuff, but it's like I didn't get the refills, and it's like we don't talk about mental stuff, and it's like I always get you just need to get a backbone and snap out of it.
Pray about it.
Yeah, that same old routine, and that's what we do,
Yeah. And what's before I really talk about your education, you mentioned something about snap out of it and pray about it. I want to know, what's your religious belief?
I don't have any belief.
What's your parents' religious belief?
I guess they're Christian. I guess they're Baptist, but they don't go to church.
But they believe in Jesus. I'm a Christian.
My mom does. I know she went to church. I think both of my parents went to church when they were young. But my mom, she's more into it than my father.
Were you ever taken to church before?
Like, I remember up until maybe I was like in the 4th grade, I used to go, and I hated it because we were there all day, like get up early, go to church. It's like 8 in the morning, and then at 1 o'clock you're still in church, and then you eat.
Oh my God!
So
it's funny because I still do that.
I wasn't down with that.
Were you actively involved? Like, I'm a choir in church, and trust me, I'm there on Saturdays, Sundays, and there and all of that. Like, you actively involved in church?
I think I went to Sunday school, Sunday school and before service. But that was about it.
So that was like a stressor, and you just stopped going.
And I think I stressed my mother out too much, because of
She said so?
No, but she decided to let me stay home and went by herself, So, she kept going, but she doesn't go anymore.
Oh, so you just felt, well, she probably got stressed out herself and stopped going.
Well, it's like I was giving her a hard time every Sunday morning. I guess she got tired of it.
Oh,
So I don't. It's like what is God? I don't know about none of that.
okay.
I don't feel it in my life. It's like what's so special about my life?
I know.
I just
It's um. I'm not going to put my values and explain my values because I'm a religious person, and on a whole different level, I see stages of life different in the way I accept reality. Some might think it's too, all over the place. What's God and all, and I respect it. That's your belief and all. But I want to know what your support system is, because for me, church is like a support system for me.
see that's
So,
the problem.
what's your support system?
That's the problem. I don't feel like I have a support system nowhere. It's like I keep saying, nobody listens to me, nobody hears me, or sees me.
You don't see your parents as a support system.
My father's, like I said, he just take up space and breathe the air. My mom, she work all the time, and when she gets home from work, she's tired. She just want to do her thing and relax. And then I'm the one that has to cook dinner for my brothers. I gotta make sure they don't be getting into trouble.
You will get into trouble.
It's like, see, they can go out with their little friends, but it's like for me, it's like it's hard to get out of the house because I always got some responsibility.
Tell me about the kind of friends you keep.
Well, it's like I have a couple. I can't
You have
say
a best friend, like a bestie, that's so close.
It's like I don't, and that's one of my problems. I can't like hang out. I don't have the time.
Is it about the time? Well, I've known the people that love you, people that support you, even when you don't have the time to find a way to connect. This is the era of phone and era of.
It's like when my brothers were real young, it's like I had friends, right? Because I didn't have to take care of them. But like when they started getting older, and I was like maybe in the 7th, 8th grade, my mother started working different hours, and there was nobody home for them, and people be getting shot, and getting the gangs, and my mom is trying to keep them out of that. So she just put it on me.
That's a lot of responsibility, I must assume.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's too much responsibility, because I get stressed out, and it's like I have this anger. I don't know if I'm angry with my mother, and then I take it out on my teachers. But it's like they don't care. They just there to get their paycheck.
I totally understand you. I would say I understand the feeling of having to do a whole lot of things, a whole lot of responsibility. I totally get you. But I know you have a girlfriend. You've been seeing each other for like 4 months now. Is she not like a support system for you? Doesn't she support you? I know a relationship can be.
See, that's what I'm telling you about not having money. I mean, you gotta have money to have
How old
a girl.
is she? You're 16. How old is she?
She's 16 too.
Okay, so what does a 16-year-old girl need?
She wanna go out. She wanna go to the movies. She wanted a Valentine's Day gift. She wanted a birthday gift. She wanted a Christmas gift. And it's like, I ain't got it like that. I can't even afford to get me anything. If I take her out to McDonald's, man, it feels like a joke,
Does she complain about these things? Sometimes love is not
love.
Really.
No.
Oh, okay.
No love.
Oh, so what's the relationship like?
It's
What kind of relationship? She's your girlfriend. What kind of relationship do you guys have?
Well, I mean, we kicked it, and it's hard to describe. Sometimes I just feel like she's just somebody I know who's a woman because I can't do anything. We can't go out. I got my brothers, and you know, it's hard. I would like it to be different. You know, if I had more time, if I had more money, and see, I get a feeling that she's like she wants more than what I can give her.
I totally understand you, and you keep feeling like you have to do more, but there's no time to do more. You want to work, you want to do. Is she in your school?
Yeah.
You go to school together?
Yeah.
And does she do better in school than you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
And does that bother you?
No, man. I'm glad. That's why I like her.
Because she's smart.
Yeah.
That's good. You're like a smart girl. So that means you're trying so hard to be smart to get your grades up.
Look, I've been trying. I've been trying. But
I've been seeing
it's
the
like
work
nothing.
you've been putting in.
But when I go out there, it's like something totally different, man.
I totally understand you. There are other questions that I'm going to be asking you, and you can just, keep. I like how you're responding, and you can just keep. It's just for clinical structural interview. You've been doing so well in the 5 weeks, and I'm glad we're getting more and more.
You're the only person I feel like I can talk to.
I'm glad that we can talk. Okay.
So we were talking about your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your father,
Mm-hmm.
and your mom,
Mm-hmm.
and your brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know more about that. Why don't you start with your father? What was your relationship like with him when you were young?
He was alright. He just ass. He don't do right.
Has he ever beat you or hit you?
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes he has hit me a couple times. He clocked me upside my head a couple times.
Okay. Do you talk?
Hmm?
Do you talk about anything? Do you have anything common you share or do together?
Heck no. For what? We just pass each other by in the hall. That's it.
Fathers and sons, you know.
We're not close. I'm close to my mother. I'm not close to him.
Okay. When you see your father, how does that make you feel?
Frustration because he don't help my mother out enough.
So, do you think that there's any way he's going to change or he's going to be who he is?
He is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And him and your mother, did they date a long time before they got married, or did they just sort of hook up and get married quickly? Do you know about their history?
I think that they had me, and then they had my brother. Then they had my other brother like a year later. I think that's when they decided to get married.
Okay.
But
okay.
I don't think they, dated long. They had me pretty fast.
Yeah. Did you have any relationships with your grandparents?
Yeah. I like my mom's mom a lot. I don't know my father's mother.
Does she live here in DC?
Yes.
Okay, good. You spend any time with her?
Yeah, I go to Georgia Avenue quite often to see her.
Well, good. See, I thought you said you didn't get out. That's good to know.
Well, I get out. My mother go see her.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's special to have family and support in some place that you can go that you feel.
I mean, we go there sometimes. We don't go over there that much. My mother do work a lot, remember?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do. And what does she do for a living? What does she do for?
She's a legal secretary.
Legal secretary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that she works late. Does she do a lot of overtime?
Yeah, she do a lot of overtime because my father don't pull his weight. He drink a lot.
Yeah, when your father drinks, how does his behavior change? Does his behavior change at all?
He loud when he drink.
Okay. And so do you find a space, get away from him?
Yeah, me and my brothers, we just go in the basement, play the game or something.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's the best way to handle things. You don't want to get irritated. You don't want to irritate him.
Nah.
And your brothers, well, let's go back to your mom. Because you said that you really do a lot to support your mom.
Yeah, because she has a lot on her plate.
Yeah, that's very special that you have that relationship with her.
Somebody gotta help her. He ain't gonna do it.
How long has it been since they've been married?
About 13 years.
Okay.
I
And,
guess. I
and
don't
you
know.
don't know too much about his people?
Oh no, he's distant from there.
And what about cousins and
I just know my cousins from my mother's family. I don't know my father's side too much.
are you all close?
Not really. I mean, I'm just close to my brothers and my girl. That's it.
Your girl, love, let's talk about your brothers because I want to stick with your family. I do want to talk about it, so we'll get there in a minute. Now, your brothers are how much younger than you are?
One brother is 3 years younger. The other brother's 4 years younger, and the other brother is 6 years younger.
Okay. Wow, that's a margin there. And you keep saying that you got to take care of them. What type of relationship do you have with them? Is it friendly?
They do what I tell them to do. You know, they know I'm the big brother. They gotta respect this. They know how it goes.
Right.
Oh, I gotta get that can of whip ass out on there.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you ever beat them?
If I have to.
Do you think that's cool to do that?
Well, sometimes they step out of line, so I gotta let them go back in line.
What's their behavior like in general?
They do what they're supposed to do. You know, they help out a little bit around the house, but I try to make it easy for my moms, but sometimes I can't always do that.
Right.
So I have to make them do right. You know, clean up a little bit behind themselves.
Yeah.
Not eat up everything all the time.
Well, that's good that they have somebody that is there for them. You know, I'm sure it's not easy, but at least you're a support in their life. A lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
Look at you. You look like you're frowning up and upset. What do you guys?
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure because I'm doing a lot.
Yeah. Do you feel under pressure right now?
I mean, I feel pressure because I gotta come here. I talk to you every week, and I'm like, damn, again. And now you got me in here for this assessment, and it's long as hell. And I'm like, when I get to go?
See, it's important because we want to make sure that you do better. We don't want you to get kicked out of school, and you keep talking about people don't see you. You don't have vision for anything.
No.
Education is the key to that.
Yeah,
it unlocks a lot of doors.
I keep hearing that.
It does. You may not see it now, but it is going to help you to have that life that you live or want to live.
The life I live now, I don't want that for nobody.
No, the life that you want to live. And if you don't have a dream, then you need to find one, something that you like doing. What do you like doing?
Get high. Hang with my friends that I never get to do.
And what do you do to get
Cool.
high? What substances do you use?
I smoke weed with my friends.
How often?
Well, twice a week.
And how does that make you feel?
It kind of calms my anxiety about, pressures of coming to school, taking care of my brothers and stuff.
Right. Now, this is something that we will tread lightly with. But you do have confidence with me or confidentiality on certain things. So you can be honest, and I'm not going to tell your parents or your principal or anybody. But do you smoke while you're in school?
If I can. If I give me a little bud, a little smoke in, I will.
Do you think that might have anything to do with your behavior?
Heck
with
no.
your teachers?
When I smoke, I'm mellow. I'm chilling. I'm relaxing.
Maybe that's why your teachers may notice, and you may think that they're attacking you. Maybe they're just trying to help you. Have you thought about it like that?
I think they be tripping for real.
Yeah. You know, let's talk about your relationship. Um, how's that?
Relationship with what?
You had mentioned that you had a girlfriend.
Well, she good. She already, she be bugging out.
Okay.
She want money I don't have, so forget her. Me
Does she
her.
know that you smoke weed?
Yeah, I give it to her too.
And what else? What else do you do? Do you drink?
Sometimes.
And what is it that you drink when you drink?
OE.
Okay. Any other drugs?
No.
Do you take any medication over the counter?
Nope.
Like aspirin or
Allergy medicine.
cold medicine?
Allergy medicine. Allergy medicine.
Okay.
Allergy medicine.
Very good. And any psychiatric medicine?
No, since I told you the doctor tried to trip me out and put me on that Ritalin when I was in fourth grade.
No. Remembered something that you.
No, I'm good. No.
Okay.
No.
What do you want to talk about? What do you want to tell me? I know that I'm giving you an interview, but this is also an opportunity for you to share with me anything that you think is important that I know. Because I'm going to have to do a report and evaluation.
I don't have nothing to talk about. I mean, you done asked me 5,000 questions a day. I'm like, damn.
Well, that's my job.
I mean, the good thing is I ain't got to go to class.
Well, I want you to keep doing what you're doing, and I see improvement.
Okay.
And we're going to close that gap between the way that you are with me and the way that you're out there with your teachers, because it's possible and it's going to happen.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to move on, okay?
Okay. I got you. Thank you.
So, you've been talking about how you've been having suicidal thoughts. Could you tell me the different thoughts that you're having?
I thought you forgot all about that. You know, I had mentioned that once when we first started talking, because I felt like I was trapped and I get sad. I don't have no space to breathe. I don't feel like I'm okay. All right, I'm okay. I did think that maybe I should do something. It's like I don't matter, you know. What difference with the world? They won't even notice I'm gone, you know. To be for real.
So, do you have dreams about these suicidal thoughts or different fantasies? How are your sleeping patterns?
Well, it's like I had an uncle that committed suicide, right? So I think about that sometimes. I've dreamt about it sometimes, actually, but I never dreamt about me killing myself. But it's something that happened in the family, so.
Okay. And is that troubling you?
You know, not right now, no. I think my more problem with me is hurting somebody else as opposed to hurting myself. You know, I don't even know if I would talk about it if I wanted to hurt myself, you know. Because I wouldn't want anybody trying to stop me.
And why would you want to do harm to yourself?
It's tired. I get tired. I'm so tired. You know, I'm just tired. I can't sleep at night, and I gotta get up first thing in the morning, get my brothers ready for school, get myself ready for school. Be out there, have time to eat, come to school. The teachers just jumping all over me. I gotta rush home for my brothers, and it's just like I just can't. I just don't have no space to breathe.
Yeah, that sounds really stressful, and
It's like sometimes I think sometimes I feel like I'm in so much pain that dying would be preferable, you know. But I don't think that all the time, but I've thought about it. I mean, I'm not. I'm not gonna kill myself.
So, was these thoughts current, or are you having these thoughts today as we sit here and talk, or was it in the past?
Well,
Has it been recent?
You brought it up, so I wasn't thinking about it, but I
Okay,
did want
that's
you to
good.
know that I have,
Okay.
you know, and I don't want to. I'm more afraid that I'm gonna hurt somebody because when I get angry, I can't. It's like some switch snaps, and you know, I'm just like all over the place, and you know, sometimes I just want to steal one of them teachers in the face, right? But see, they got police here on this campus now, and I ain't trying to get caught up like that, you know.
And what triggers you to go off? Like, what sets you off to, you know, think this way, where you feel like going after
It's
people?
like when I'm disrespected, you know, when they don't respect me, and you know, treat me like I'm dumb, you know. They point me out, you know. I'm not the class clown or anything like that. I'm trying to work to get my, you know, get my life together. But it seems like every time I get into something with them, I end up getting in trouble, and I ain't trying to do that. I had fights with some friends too.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like going off on my father, and you know, sometimes I really want to kill him, to be honest with you, because he's just useless, just useless.
So, wow. So it sounds like you're, you know, you really don't have that, as you were telling me, you really don't have that relationship with your father, and it's really challenging for you, and it's just really hard for you at this point. So I'm really concerned because it sounds like, or let me just ask, would you hurt your father, or like, who are you thinking
like,
about?
I don't think about it all the time, but I've thought about it. And, you know, when he get drunk, when I got my buzz on, I try and stay away from him, you know, because it's like, I don't know what could happen.
Right.
You know? See, if I did something to him, it would hurt my mom. So, you know, it's her that I care about.
And I want to ask you, do you have any possessions of anything at home, or do you have anything in your locker at school?
You talking about weapons?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No. I could have a little knife, but it's not enough to really hurt anybody, but it'll stop somebody, you know, but I don't even keep that for self-protection.
Well, knife definitely is a possession of a weapon, which I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to have a knife in school, and it's other ways to handle.
I'm not saying I have it in school, and I'm not saying I don't. You know?
Okay.
So let's just say I have a knife.
Okay. Well, if you do have it within school grounds, then you know, that's definitely not allowed, and they could call, and myself, I would have to call, you know, of course, the authorities, and it wouldn't look good for you.
You explained that when we first started.
Yeah, about definitely self-harming yourself or others, and yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I'm glad you definitely told me and expressed your thoughts, and I'm just glad that I have an understanding of your recent thoughts and how you're feeling about you know.
I think you're the only person I can talk to. You know, you're the only person that understands me. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like my family don't, my teachers don't, my brothers don't. So the world looks at me like I want to rob something or mug somebody, and you know,
Well, definitely, I want to make sure that you're not harming yourself or harming others, because if you were to harm yourself or others, I would have to report that. And I'm glad that you have shared with me about your thoughts, but I still want to check in from time to time and make sure that you're not harming yourself.
Yeah, I look forward to meet with you actually.
Mm-hmm. So definitely we will talk again next week.
Okay.
And have a good weekend.
Thank you.
And I just want to let you know, if you ever need me, you definitely can call my cell if you have an emergency.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.